Hello, Seaside Vacations homeowners. I'm Pamela Smith, Vice President of Coldwell Banker Seaside, here in the beautiful Outer Banks. Happy summer. The first half of the year is over, and as of the end of June, residential units are up 17% and volume is up 21% over the same period last year. These are great numbers. Our average days on the market is 167 this year compared to 201 last year. That's terrific news. But more importantly, for properties that have been listed and sold since January of this year, the average days on the market drops to 37, which just continues to be a terrific number. We have also seen a 37% increase in properties sold over the $1 million price range. Of the 45 properties sold this year over $1 million, all but one have been located on the ocean side of the Outer Banks. Let's hear from a few of our agents talking about the market. Talk to me about the high-end property fronts, the sound fronts. What's the market like?
The market is good, but we're in an improving market overall, but the high-end properties have lagged a little bit. So it does create an opportunity for buyers that are looking to purchase on the oceanfront or for high-end properties.
Oh, what's your advice to buyers? What should they do first?
Well, you always want to buy when other people are not buying. And
Good.
So we do have activity in the market, but it is not at the same pace as some of our lower priced properties. So my advice is if you are looking to buy and you're in the upper end market, now is the time.
Very good. What's your advice for sellers thinking about putting their high-end homes on the market?
Yeah, sellers need to be very price conscious right now. They need to make sure their properties are in great shape, that they look good, and that they're really priced well.
Okay. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
So how's the market, Heather?
The market is great, especially if you are a seller and you've been waiting for the right time to sell. The times have changed. Now is a great time to list your home. We have a lot of buyers that are feeling the urgency of interest rates going up. So inventory's down as well, and there's less competition. So I have a lot of sellers that can be stronger in negotiations and can actually sell and get a buyer quicker than ever before.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Hello, Heather Sakers, our top producing agent last year. And by the looks of all your awards in the background, you're doing well.
It's busy.
How's the
Busy
market,
as always.
Heather?
It's very busy. It's been great. It's been another great year. Even with interest rates starting to kind of creep up a little bit, the market's still very active, and we do have fewer listings on the market, so buyers are starting to jump on those listings if they've been kind of on the fence. Interest rates have a little bit to do with that as well. So it's been busy, especially for sellers. If you've been on this fence about selling, now's a great time to list. There's less competition, and you can probably push the buyers to pay a little bit more because there seems to be turning more to a little bit more of a seller's market where we have more buyers than listings. Not fully in a seller's market, but definitely leaning more that way than we have been in years and years. So,
How do your sellers feel about the market where the houses are staying on the market for a shorter period of time? How are they reacting to that? Does it change their negotiations at all?
It can. It definitely can change negotiations, and a lot of sellers are sticking closer, especially if they've priced their home right to begin with or their property right to begin with. A lot of sellers are sticking a little bit more firm to negotiations. You're still going to have buyers they're going to test the market. They might come in with a lower offer, but they know and their agents know they're getting educated, and I'm sure their agents are educating them about what a fair price is for the current market, which is shifting. So sellers are definitely able to secure, I would say, a little bit more than they have been in the past. Again, especially if it's priced right to begin with. A lot of my listings have been selling between 95 and 100% of the asking price if my sellers kind of follow my pricing recommendation to start with.
What advice do you have to the sellers to make the under contract to closing process a little bit easier? Is there anything
Yes.
they can do to be proactive?
Absolutely. A lot of these properties on the Outer Banks, I mean, I've got a lot of properties under contract that were still built in the 80s and 90s. And even though we're getting contracts more quickly and the sellers are able to negotiate a little bit more, inspections are still a huge issue with a lot of these older homes. So service your HVAC system, get your roof inspected, check for
Good
termites
advice.
if you're not on an annual pest inspection. Or termite bond annually. So the big things, get your siding checked, especially if your house is older, because those are things that can kill a deal really quickly or shock everybody into a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 repair issue. How are we going to tackle that? That could have been handled at the beginning of the process before we even had the buyer, and made it much less stressful for everybody.
Oh, very good advice, Heather.
Yes, important. Those big components of your house are very important.
They sure are. Well, thank you, Heather. Happy
You're
summer.
welcome.
Thanks for watching. I look forward to talking to you next time.